Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. All right, so we're going to do a nice, relaxed reading update this week. Not too much to go over. I did finish some stuff, though. Let's start with what I'm currently reading. Last Argument of Kings. I'm not very far with this. It's going slow for me. I'm on page 142. But I do have 10 more days left in the month to finish this. And basically now, this is all I have to focus on because I've got everything else that I had planned for this month read. So we're going to continue with that. Of course, the third book in the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. It's going good. I'm digging it. All right. I did read the next short story novella in the Expanse series that kind of goes along with the book that we finished this month. So the short story in this is called The Vital Abyss. They're saying it's 5.5. So we're reading book 5, which is Nemesis Games. That's finished. Then I usually go on and read the accompanying short story novella that goes in that time period. This is saying 5.5, so basically it's saying it's a little bit after the Expanse, Nemesis Games. I don't know really that it is. It kind of jumps all over the place. In this story, they use, that trope where they go back in time and then bring you forward, then go back in time, then bring you forward, things like that. What is it? Well, first off, 75 pages. It was published in October of 2015, and on Goodreads it has a 3.89 rating as of today. First off, I'm just going to start off by saying it's probably my least favorite of all of the extra short stories, novellas in the Expanse universe that I've read. I didn't like that much. What is it? So it follows Paulo Cortazar, and he's a researcher. He's a scientist. His classification is nanoinformatics is his specialty. And what is he? Well, he's one of the scientists that have no conscience, that they put together to experiment with the protomolecule. And how did they do that? Well, they found people that really just didn't care about ethics or humanity, really. I mean, their overarching premise is that they're saving humanity or they're helping humanity by doing this research with this protomolecule, but they needed people to not say, let's test the protomolecule first on rats. Let's not test protomolecules on chimpanzees. Let's just go straight to testing it on humans and seeing what happens. So yes, these were the people that orchestrated the destruction of Arrow Station and using the protomolecule to just see what happens, how it integrates with people, humans, and pretty much killed everybody on that station. So they had no conscience. They don't care. I really didn't care reading about this guy, this Paulo Cortazar, and his ongoing studies. Now of course they're in a prison. The ones that didn't get killed are in a prison, and they're still trying to use, because they are geniuses, they are very smart. They're trying to use their scientific research with what's going on now with the gates. What the heck is going on with these gates? But I just didn't like it. I didn't like reading about these people. I didn't care about these people. I wouldn't have been pissed off if they would have blown them all away. to be honest with you, when they first found them. Just horribly narcissistic people that seemed to care about humanity, but then used saving humanity as the reason it's just, I didn't like it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I don't have anything good to say about it. Except for, so the cool thing is, at the end of all these short stories, they talk about how they wrote it, why they wrote it, things like that. And they do mention this, they use Will and Grace. I don't know if you've seen that TV series. I actually loved it. I thought it was funny as hell. But they use Will and Grace because a lot of people don't realize it's free will and the grace of God. And that's what they're saying. Do we use free will, or is it the grace of God that we're here? Or are we expanding and going on because of our own will? So they're using that as the, I guess, overarching premise of this story, and how these researchers, I guess, can justify their means. And that was the only thing I really found interesting in this story. I didn't like it. Let's get off it. All right, so on to Nemesis Games. This is book 5, of course, in the Expanse series. Whew. 1 more this year, and then 3 more after that. Let's get the numbers out of the way. Of course, number 5 in the Expanse series. And Nemesis Games was published originally in June of 2015. And my version has 530 pages. And on Goodreads right now, it's a 4.42, a very respectable rating for this book. One of the highest ones in the series so far. A lot of people love this book. Some people don't. A lot of people are saying it may be the best book in the series. I will tell you my thoughts. I dug it. I liked it a lot. I still think book 1 is the best. Book 2 is close. This is close to book 2. I don't think it's the best. But I did like it a lot because 3 and 4 were such a downer for me that I was just feeling, oh, here we go. They came in with a bam and got me hooked, and then slowly just lost their way. Which, unfortunately, series do. So I was happy with this one. What did this one do that was different? Well, it brought back the episodes. It was very episodic for me. And when I first started watching, well, Star Trek back in the day, it was very episodic. There wasn't this huge overarching, narrative going through the whole series. I think that really hit me with Babylon 5, even though season 1 isn't so much, it's more episodic, but that's where I really saw this overarching storyline that really intrigued me and made me want to watch the next episode as soon as it came out. Made it like, the cooler talk at work, things like that. And now most series tend to do that. So, but I liked how this still, expanded our knowledge of what's going on in the universe, politically, socially, but it was a great vehicle to, instead of just having the crew of the Rocinante be always together and fighting some evil or whatever nefarious things going on in the universe, it split off. So we had 4 distinct episodes. We had, of course, Alex going back to Mars to, he was having some problems with his life. Alex is probably the oldest one, I believe, on the Rocinante. And he's starting to have, some feelings of, what did I do wrong in my life? He had been married in the past. Why did that end? And could he just maybe go back and say, I'm sorry? So he takes some downtime because the Rocinante in the last book got damaged. So it's in dock. And of course, Fred Johnson is helping to rebuild the ship. So let's take a vacation. Let's go somewhere. It's going to be months before the ship's done. So Alex decides to go to Mars to see his ex-wife, try to fix that up. Then Amos, his adoptive mother, passes away. So he goes to Earth to give his last respects to her. And Naomi gets a cryptic message that her son, which we haven't really known about. We know there was a past there. She had a past before the Rocinante and Holden for sure. But her son Philip may be in danger, and so she takes off to go help him. Of course, she doesn't tell Holden what she's doing. And then Holden's left, alone and messing around with depression, really, because his family is gone. His home life has been disrupted. Poor Holden, woe is me. I hope you can tell that out of all the characters in this book, Holden's my least favorite. It is what it is. But things happen now. Now we've got a different story for each one. So, of course, when Amos, for instance, goes back to Earth for the funeral, he meets some people there. He hooks back up with Eric, who we've met before in Memories Legion for sure. Kind of last story. I can't remember the name now. So we know about Eric. He goes and sees Eric again. And he even goes and sees Peaches again. And that's Clarissa Mao. She's in prison. He talks to Christian Avasarala. He calls her Chrissy. Hilarious, the interaction between them. So I love that story. Amos has his story. Of course, he gets in a mess like Amos does. You can read that part. And then so Alex, of course, goes to Mars. He meets up with his ex-wife, and she pretty much tells him to get the F out of here. It's over. I don't have any feelings for you at all. I don't even care if you're here to apologize, whatever, which he should have realized was going to happen anyways. But he's still got some downtime. He says, hey, I'm on Mars. Let me go see Bobby. And I love Bobby Draper. She's awesome. He goes and meets up with Bobby Draper, and then they get into a mess. Great story with that. Loved it. Got to read it. And then, of course, Holden meets up with Monica Stewart, and she's basically a newscaster, and she's doing a story that she's uncovered about missing ships. So she ropes Holden in to help her try to find out what's going on with these missing ships that are going through the gate and just disappearing. And so then that's another story. Boom. So we've got 4 separate stories going on. I'm not going to tell you what happens with all of them, of course. And then as they do, they come back together at the end, and they come back together. So I actually loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it. One of the reasons why I've only read 130 some pages in the last argument of Kings is because this just took over. I started reading it, boom. Now you're the 5th book in, so you're really comfortable now with the writing style, you're comfortable with the universe, comfortable with the characters. You do get introduced to a couple new characters like Marco, which of course is Naomi's ex and the father of Philip, which is her son. You get to meet them and their dichotomy and what they're doing. That kind of wraps everything together. I don't know. I liked it. 4 different POVs. It was a fun read. I just got engrossed in it and just dove into it and just kept reading and reading. So that's it. Nemesis Games. Not a big video today. So we're at the 20th. Got 10 days left to finish Last Argument of Kings, which I should be able to do because that's all I have to focus with. Although I do think, here's my December stack. Oh, come here. Come here, Neil. I think I'm going to start, man, this is a heavy book. I'm going to start reading Neil Gaiman's American Gods. This is the annotated version, so I'm going to start that probably next, because there's, it's going to take a little bit longer to read because of all the different annotations and stuff that are going to be in this. So I might start that a little early this month. But of course, we've got Thanksgiving coming. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. So there's places to go, people to see, things to do. And that's going to take up some time too. And then of course, Christmas, but let's see where we go. Hopefully I'll be able to get everything that I want to get done for the year. And then we can start strong next year with my second season on my channel. I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys. So please like, subscribe, and leave comments. As always, I really appreciate everybody. And peace out.